I will trust in you, oh Lord. I will follow you, my God. For you are the King that delivers me from fear. I will hope in you, oh Lord. I will look to you, my God. For you are my strength and defender of my heart. Wrong, even when the fears are raging, even when my faith is wavering, help me trust in you. For you are the everlasting God, and you are glorious, and you the voice of truth, the Prince of Peace. I will honor you, oh Lord. I will bless your name, my God. For you're the creator and savior of the world. Even when it all goes wrong, even when the fears are raging, trust in you. For you are the everlasting God, and you are
Good evening, welcome to Social Distancing Live with me, Rob Westall, and that was Cat Mills' latest single, The Everlasting God. It's a brand new signed version, so you might, if you know sign language, you might have enjoyed that, you might have got that. So if you know anyone who's hard of hearing, who does sign language, please pass that single on. Fantastic worship song out by The Everlasting God by Cat Mills. And you might be wondering why I'm wearing this baseball cap, and well, I've had a shave on my beard, but I've also had a shave up there. So for those of you who tuned in last night, we had a charity fundraiser for Operation Gateway Relief, which provides meals for frontline NHS staff and also the most vulnerable in our community here in Monmouthshire. And that is run by Gateway Church Abergavenny in conjunction with local organisations and local businesses, a small team of volunteers. And they fed over 5,000 people throughout the course of the lockdown. 100 meals a night goes out to the night staff at Neville Hall Hospital here, which serves the local community. And we raised a lot of money last night. And hey, if it's worth losing some hair for if some people are going to get meals that need them the most. So I will be revealing tomorrow night, hopefully, what the grand total is. And also we've got some video footage I've been working on today. So I've been editing that and putting that together so you can see myself getting my head shaved, Pastor Chris Vaz, Beulah Cheeseman. Hi Beulah, one of our regulars here on Social Distancing Live, even got in on the act as well. And Drew Miller, whose idea it was in the first place. I had the honour of seeing him get all of his lovely golden locks shaved off live earlier on today. So that is coming up for you tomorrow along with Bean Baker. But we've got a very, very special guest. I'm so excited. That's why we've got the Daffs tonight. We've got Cath Woolridge from Sound of Wales. And for those of you who've seen the UK Blessing, what an amazing video that is. 2.1 million views on YouTube. Fantastic stuff. It's blessed so many of us. Cath, of course, plays a starring role in that, and we'll be talking to her about that and lots of other things and having some fun with her as well. And of course, we had Di Woolridge at the half on the other week. Of course, many of you enjoyed that programme as well, and we're going to have a fantastic time again tonight. So if you've got any questions for Cath, please pop them in the comments. Anna, my gorgeous wife, is on the comments. She'll be looking over those and popping them through to me so we can get those to Cath throughout the course of the programme. Some fantastic music ahead, some fantastic chat as well. So welcome. Let's just say hello to everybody who's on tonight. Let's have a look and see who's on. So Vicky Smith, hello Vicky, hope you're well. Anna Westall, she's in the house somewhere. Janice Jones, my mother-in-law, hope you and John are well. Love to you. Sarah Hilton, hello. Beulah Cheeseman, hello. And Nancy Westall, a.k.a. my mum, hello. There we are. And Michael, good to see you, Michael. There we are, Michael. So Michael says, hi Rob, hope everyone's had a good day. I wonder if you could pray for my friend who has today discovered she has bowel cancer. Oh gosh, Claire Maynard of Worcester. We've been friends for 40 years and she was my wife's best friend. Michael, of course we can and we will. So if you are a praying person, please, can you pray for Claire Maynard of Worcester, who's had quite a grim diagnosis today. She has discovered she's got bowel cancer. Please pray for Michael's friend, and please send Michael some love on here as well. I know he's a regular here on Social Distancing Live. God bless you, Michael. Praying for you and your friend at this time. And Janice Jones says, we will be praying, Michael. And hi to Sarah Thomas. Sarah Thomas is tuning in. Beulah Cheeseman says, love the daffodil backdrop. Adrian Howells. Oh, it's not Adrian Howells, it's Dawn on Adrian Howells' profile. That always catches me out. Hi, Dawn. How are you? God bless you. God bless you. Oh, Mark. I'm so glad that Mark Small has tuned in tonight. Mark, please stay tuned because I've got a special treat for you later on. And please remind me if I've not done it because I've got something cracking for you, buddy. Awesome. Glenn Ingle, I've got more hair than you. Yes, you have, Glenn. You have, yes. I don't want to scare viewers away, so I'm not going to take this off just yet. But I will be on later in the programme. Mum says praying for Michael's friend Claire there. There you go. Thank you. There's a lot of people saying that as well. Lots of prayer emojis going on. God bless you guys. Please lift her up in your prayers. We're now going to listen to a song, which is a prayer. It's a prayer for this time, and it's a prayer that you can sing along to turn back to God, to cry out to him to come and heal, save our land, and lead our land once more. This is Show Us Your Glory. I was really blessed that this got in the top 20 of the UK Christian chart. Thank you for everyone who voted for it. I released it on YouTube just for free, just because I want it to get out there, and I had a real weight just to get it out there. And many of you starred in the video, of course. Many of you stuck at home at lockdown. Thank you so much for all your help with this song. And I pray that it blesses you. Michael, I pray that that it blesses you and your friend right now at this time. This is Show Us Your Glory, and if you want to sing along to it and use it as a prayer, you can do indeed. And then we're going to get a very special guest on, Cath Woolridge from Sound of Wales. This is Show Us Your Glory.
We're on our knees, crying out to you. Show us your glory. Show us your glory. Let your kingdom come. We're on our knees, we turn to you, we lay our lives down, we're laying our lives down, let your will be done, you come and save our lives. Your ways are higher, nothing is higher. Glorify your Son. Let your kingdom come, let your will be done as we bow before you now. Come and lead this land with your mighty hand as our hearts all cry as one. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. 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 'Cause we're on our knees, we're crying out to you. Yeah, show us your glory, show us your glory. We're on our knees, we're turning back to you. Lord, show us your glory, show us your glory. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. We're on our knees, crying out to you. Show us your glory. Show us your glory. Let your kingdom come.
That was Show Us Your Glory, and we have a very special guest tonight, and it's Cath Woolridge. Hello, Cath, how are you? I'm very good indeed, very good. Welcome to Social Distancing Live. We're so excited to have you on the programme. Oh, I do apologise. We had a bit of a technical issue there. I do apologise, but we didn't have any audio coming through, but we've got some now. So I do apologise. So hello again, Cath. Sorry for that.
No worries. Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm a bit cold on top, so I'm wearing this hat tonight. So
Oh, you're looking good. You look like you've done like NSYNC or something.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm down with the kids. Come on.
There you are. You can bring it on.
We had your other half on the other week, of course, Mr. Cath Woolridge.
Yeah.
How is he doing? How is he doing?
He's doing very well. He's actually in the other room compiling some stuff for me for a really exciting project that we're doing at Sound of Wales. So he's doing that while I'm on here. So that's good. He's being a legend.
Marvellous, marvellous. We've got some... Beulah Cheeseman says, hi, Cath.
Hiya, Beulah.
There we are. And then Paul Mealing says, like the hat. Thank you very much, Paul. There's a very good reason why I'm wearing this hat, as you'll find out in just a moment. And there we are. And
you look a bit like the Pope, Rob, because it's kind of like you can't see the back, like the front thing. So it looks like one of those little white things.
Oh, hang on, there we are. Let me turn it around.
Hey!
Other brands are available, but I look a bit ill when I wear this like this. I'm gonna. Oh, there we are. How about that? There we are. That's
Yay!
Oh, amazing. Oops, bit of a reveal there. But yes, there we are. David Mark Woolridge, I don't know if you know him, he says, I love your husband, Cath.
Oh my goodness me, that guy. What is he like?
We're getting a troll on Social Distancing Live. What's going on?
Troll. He is a troll. Tell him to get off.
Well, the other week he was on, and of course, you did dive in the comments saying, come on, guys, we need to get his beard trimmed. But I think he got off quite lightly looking at the pictures, because last night, of course, in aid of Operation Gateway Relief, I had my head shaved, and this was the result.
Hey! I genuinely don't think it looks bad, Rob.
Yeah, I know. It's just it'll take a bit of getting used to, I think. But tomorrow evening we've got some video footage of. It wasn't just me, Pastor Chris Vaz as well, and a few other people. Beulah, who's one of our regulars here, went under the shaver clippers, whatever you call it, and. Yeah.
Come on, Beulah.
Shocking. But we've raised a lot of money for Operation Gateway Relief. It provides meals for the NHS and for those in need here in the local community. And we will be revealing, hopefully tomorrow, how much was raised. But it was a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot of money. So tomorrow we'll have some video, and we'll hopefully reveal how much as well was revealed as well. So there we are. Awesome. Let's have a look at some of the comments then. Let's see who's on tonight. So we've got Mark Small and Sue Small are watching. Chris Lewis, loving the do. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much indeed. Awesome for that. There we are. Michael says, hi Rob, over the last few days I've been reading the Psalms, and Psalm 91 I thought would help today. It has. Maybe it will help others. Thank you very much, guys. So you can look up Psalm 91. Google it if you want. You don't need to have a Bible in the house. Google it. Psalm 91. And yeah, there's lots of different versions, lots of different translations, but yeah, I can highly recommend that psalm for this season, definitely. And Helen Chadwick, we need to see the hair or lack of it, Rob. Okay, I know a lot of you did donate, so I'll give you another flash. There we are. There we are. But the big reveal will be tomorrow. Looks great, Rob, says Beulah. My mum, oh, look at my mum on the emojis, cool, with the shade smiley face. She loves the emoji. When Di was on, we had the right arm of fellowship emoji kept rearing its.
Of course she did. He likes to think he's down with the kids, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though he's a middle-aged man nowadays. Love him.
Oh yeah, he had a birthday the other day, didn't he?
He did. I mean, he is officially in the late mid-30s, as I call it.
He's a young pup. He's a young pup. So what did you do to celebrate the birthday? Because, you know, lockdown, you can't go out to a restaurant. What do you normally do, and how did you celebrate it?
Well, we normally have a meal with his family, and then we do like a meal or something with our friends. So it was quite different, actually. But I really wanted to make it quite special. So what did we do? So we woke up, cup of tea in bed. And while I was downstairs, it was hilarious, actually. because we got like all these blinking Alexas all over our house that Di loves. Okay, so while you're downstairs, you can say play, you know, whatever song in the bedroom or in the lounge or whatever. So he was still asleep, so I crept out, and so I whispered to Alexa. I said, Alexa, play Happy Birthday in the bedroom. And she goes, do you want me to whisper the song? It was so freaky. So no, it was really good. So I went in with a cup of tea, cooked breakfast, and then I had loads of presents for him, like that he could use throughout the day. So I got him some marshmallows and some sticks with some matches, and we had like a little fire with, you know, some s'mores. What else did we do? Oh, I got him a birthday cake made out of Galaxy chocolate because it's his favourite.
Come on.
Yeah, so it was like fully made out of Galaxy, and counters on top and minstrels and all sorts.
Wow.
What else? I got him like a little gardening bag, and we had a little time outside gardening, and then in the night cooked a curry and watched 1917, which is a brilliant film.
Amazing film.
Poof. I was captivated. It was brilliant.
Me and Anna watched it the other night. She doesn't like war films at all, and she said herself she's been recommending it to other people now as well. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't sort of slow down at all, and it wasn't like a normal war film either. It was a really good watch. Other films are available, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Your hubby is saying, "I made myself breakfast," Rob, with a sad emoji.
You know, he's such a monkey because he did. But he's the best. He's the best at doing cooked breakfast. And I was the sous chef, Rob. I was the sous chef, and I washed up. He is the monkey, honestly.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Lyra Vaz is giving you the wave emoji.
Hello, Lyra.
Brilliant, awesome. So, Cath, Di was telling us that you've been, both of you thought you've had symptoms during lockdown, and it's been quite grim. How, can you describe to us how it's been from your point of view, really?
Yeah, so Dabs went to London. This was just before the lockdown, actually. He had a meeting and he came back and he was really unwell, very, very fatigued, Dabs was, and then had some of the other symptoms. And I was fine for a week or two, but then I came down with it. I felt really unwell, actually. So I had fatigue, tight chest, really bad head, temperature. It lasted kind of like a week. I was just flat on my back. The worst thing was the fatigue. It totally took me out. But then off the back of that now, that was quite a few weeks ago now. So in some ways, we can't say that we definitely had it, but I think we did. And in some ways, that's good because it just means now that we can, help people and go and hopefully be immune to it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it's a really strange situation, and it's just changed every facet of life, hasn't it? And aside from everything else, I mean, one of the things we talked about with Di was that people are going through a grieving process almost for the old way of life and things like that. I mean, what's your experience? How have you found it? How have you handled it, really? What have been the challenges for you?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is I miss my mum and dad. I'm really close to my mum and dad, and they live in West Wales, so haven't seen them. They're both shielding. My mum has got really bad asthma, and my sister and her husband and little boy are shielding as well because my sister's a type 1 diabetic and her husband has leukemia. So all my family of them are shielding. So I really, really miss them. And praying for them and really hoping that they don't get it.
Yeah.
And then I think just I'm a social bod. I love being around friends. I love going to church. I love being around people. I get my energy from that in many ways. And I think I've really missed that. And it's interesting though, because I've really felt like I should, that God was kind of spurring me to read the Exodus story. It's all about kind of these people these Israelites who were in slavery, and they were longing for a way out of that slavery, you know, and they begged for it, they prayed for it, they finally get out, they go into the wilderness, and it's still hard, and then they pray that they want to go back. And it's so interesting, because I think some prayers I was praying before the lockdown, you know, Lord, I want to be nearer to you. I want to get my priorities right. I want to, you know, with some of the prayers I was praying, and almost some of those prayers have been answered in this lockdown. And then I found myself thinking, I just want to go back, you know. But I just think it's not going to go back to normal. There's going to be a new normal. And, you know, it's not easy, but I'm just so thankful that God is Emmanuel and he is with us. And yeah, by clinging on to him, we are getting through, and I think that's how we will get through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had some dark days, and I found turning to the Bible and praying. I just discovered a lot about myself in that. What is my foundation actually based on? We say about, I've got a firm foundation. I'm standing on the rock that is Jesus Christ. But actually I discovered that actually in parts, some areas of my life, it wasn't the case. And it's a lot of reevaluation going on. One of the things you're known for, and you're anointed at, and you're awesome at, is leading worship, Cath. And I've been the recipient of that. I've been in congregation, we've led worship, and you've led us in some fantastic times of worship, right into the centre of the presence of God, some awesome, incredible, powerful times. Now, during this lockdown, the whole dynamic of leading worship has changed absolutely completely. So at Gateway, for instance, we're live streaming. We're lucky enough to still be allowed to go to the building to do that. But I'm finding that you're leading worship and there's no congregation there, and some of the dynamics that perhaps you relied on people's reaction. Sometimes, you know, you'd pick up, oh, so-and-so's folding their arms, I better, come on guys, or give it something like that. How has it been for you, and what's your worship leading experience been like during lockdown?
Yeah, I think I've been really challenged actually, because, you know, I lead worship a lot, and in my home church and in, you know, churches all around the place. And I think at the beginning of this lockdown, I had a little bit of a moment really, because I think I realised that I had got so professional, as it were, at leading worship, that it was more about ministering to the people than it was about my ministry to God himself. And that was so challenged in my heart. You know, in the Bible, there's a group of people called the Levites, and they're essentially like the musicians and the creatives. And one of the things that they're known for is, and that they're set apart for, is this continuous ministry to the Lord first, you know. And I think that's what I've just been really challenged by, is Cath, just get back to that place of your first love, ministering to God first, and then out of that comes your ministering to people. And so I think, yeah, I've just really tried to get back to that place, you know, just seeking his face. And some days it's easy and some days it's really not. Yeah. But, you know, just trying to make that secret place, more of a habit.
Fantastic. Yeah. And what by the way, guys, we're on Social Distancing Live. Our special guest is Cath Woolridge from Sound of Wales. And if you've got any questions for Cath, please pop them in the comments and reactions boxes, and we'll get them to her. Cath, I want to share some of your music in just a moment, and we've got it's up to you which song we choose, of course. But what in terms of your obviously gifted in creativity, you're incredibly creative. I've been to conferences, you've done this, that, and the other. There's always something outside the box. I think, whoa, that's amazing. It's such an inspiration. What's the creativity look like during lockdown? How has that changed?
You know, I think I really think I have been inspired to practice wonder in a new way. I hear, like, this sounds like so cliche, but the bird song is like I have never ever heard it in my entire life right now, probably because the air is clearer, and, you know, and I just feel like God saying that, like, Cath, come and practice wonder. What brings you wonder today. And this is a line that I love from a really famous film called Chariots of Fire. And the guy is a runner, and he loves running, and he loves Jesus. And he says, when I run, I feel his pleasure. And I've just felt, God the Father say, Cath, what is it that enables you to feel my pleasure? And that is, going for a walk and taking my little moleskin and writing little thoughts that come, and maybe turning that into a song, or maybe turning that into a piece of art, or maybe turning that into giving it to Davs and asking him to come up with a spoken word. And sometimes it's not for the world. Sometimes it's just for me and Davs. Sometimes it's just for our hearts. And I think that whole concept of practicing wonder and what makes us feel his pleasure.
Amazing. And what song would you like us to play now? Because you've been involved in a very successful song that we could talk about that. We could talk about anything you want, but you direct where you want us to go. Which song would you like to choose for us first?
Let's go with The Blessing first. Let's go with that. So this is a song that Tim Hughes and Les Moyer put together, and they wanted various different worship leaders from across the UK to come and be involved in a unified expression of prayer over not just the church but over society. And in Numbers there is a benediction, and it basically literally says, the Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, the Lord make his face turn toward you and give you peace. And the song is literally like word for word from scripture, essentially. And so when Les emailed and then Tim called and was like, would you do this for Wales? I felt so privileged, and it was amazing to be asked. Recording it was hilarious because it was stressful. There was like so many like technical little bits, me and Dav's arguing, and then next minute there I am looking like a little angel singing a song. I just kind of called my husband all the names under the sun. It was a boiling day. I was boiling hot. Oh my gosh, I had to repent after it. That's just me being honest. But yeah, I mean, the response it's had has been unbelievable. I mean, it has been played in prisons. It has been played in care homes. It has been played on the streets. It has been played. I had a call off Les Moyer today, and apparently the NHS have asked if it will be the song that it can be played before the clap on a Thursday.
Amazing.
Across the UK. And so they're going to release it as an iTunes track, not just as a YouTube video. Yeah. So I think it's just incredible, and people are getting saved through it. People are coming to know Jesus. People are coming back to Jesus, like prodigals, and it's just been amazing to just be a tiny, tiny part of that. And one of the scriptures in the Bible says, where there is unity, God commands a blessing. Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. And, there's like 65 churches from across the UK represented, and I just feel like God, I'm just going to bless there.
I love that. God's just like, poof.
Yeah.
Superb. Well, let's listen to it now. This is the UK Blessing, and please watch out for Cath, and a fantastic song. And Cath, can I just say that, you in Abergavenny, I know of so many people. We've just all been talking about it everywhere. Lots of people I know as well. So thank you very much for persevering and looking like an angel in the video. We're going to watch it now, and I pray that this blesses you and just ministers to you. This is the UK Blessing.
The Lord bless you and keep you.
Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lord, turn his face toward you
and give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep make his face shine upon you
and be gracious to you.
The Lord turn his face toward you
and give you peace.
The Lord bless you
And keep you,
make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you
and give you peace.
Amen. Amen.
Pray a blessing, manna rain down from heaven. This isn't second guessing, we know that we are protected. May the peace that surpasses all understanding be our message. Grace and favors in your nature, in your
May
essence.
his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations,
And your family, and your children,
and their children, and their children. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May his favor be upon you and
Absolutely incredible, Cath. That is the UK blessing. And Cath, absolutely phenomenal. This, we were saying when it's difficult not to get emotional watching that and listening to that, and we're not alone. Sarah Hilton says, this always makes me cry. My mum, sorry, I've got to stay professional. Nancy Westall says, love this blessing, and she's on the emojis again. So prayer, emoticon, double high five, emoticon, and love heart. And Jim and Anika Mallard says, we'll be praying. Love what you're saying, says Cath Tovey. And Brenda Tucker, Auntie Brenda, hello. That's my Auntie Brenda, that is, Cath. It's a bit of a thing. I say hello to Auntie Brenda. Because people obviously associate it with Stella, the sitcom. Yeah. Brenda watching, I love this, she says. Fantastic. Vicky Smith, no words, love heart. And then Michael says, lovely, absolutely lovely. Janice Jones, mother-in-law, what a blessing. Josh Fenwick, boom. Every knee will bow, every tongue will confess.
Come on.
Love it, Josh. Well said, buddy. Awesome. So, Cath, yeah, I mean, you touched upon it before we listened to it, the recording process. I mean, obviously things have to be done a lot differently now. You've obviously got vast experience recording professionally and all sorts of different styles and things like that, but live and studio and things like that. But this was must have been insane doing it outside the box like that without the usual sort of production engineers alongside you and things like that. How did it all work?
Yeah, it was. And I am so not technical, Rob. So I did have the sweats, gotta be honest. Yeah. Yeah, and I only had 24 hours to do it as well, which was crazy. So they wrote this email. It was so technical, and it was like, you need 3 devices, one to play the backing track on through your ears, one to film you on, one to record your audio, in order for it to be synced up with the other 60 odd, worship leaders that were getting to do this. You need to clap at this certain beat in the bar this many times throughout the recording. So I think it was a bit of headwork, because you were thinking about, right, I'm being videoed, I'm also being audioed at the same time, and we had 2 videos in my face here, so thinking about the voice. And then I kept mixing up the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you. I kept mixing up the words, just being oh no, I can't do that, they need to be spot on. So that was hilarious. And then we lost all the recordings because my phone turned up. Oh, it was horrendous. Yeah, in the middle of, so we had to do it again. Yeah, so it was a bit of a pain, but we got there, and I am so glad we did. And I tell you, I was so frustrated. I was so just being naughty Cath. And then Dabs was just Cath, let's pray and sing this from your heart. And he was like, what is it that you want to sing this blessing over? And I just started to sob. I was just like, Wales, I'm so sorry, Lord, that I got so caught up in the technicalities of this that I missed the whole point. And again, it's what we were talking about earlier. It's my heart, that audience of one. I was so lost in the kind of horizontal response that my vertical kind of heart wasn't in tune, And it was just an amazing moment. And so Dav's just said, he's so good. He just said, just fix your eyes. And I just did. And I just saw the whole of Wales, north, south, east, west, poor communities, rich communities, deprived communities, people of all ages. The song talks about every generation. And I just prayed it from my gut that this nation of song would know not just the nostalgic spiritual song, but would know, my God, who redeemed me from the pit and set my feet upon a rock. That God behind the song, the real God, not the religious story, but the God who's changed my story and brought me back to life. And, so that's what I did. And that was the take that we used, which I was so thankful for in the end. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, and it's just fascinating to know what was going through your mind, because obviously you can see the song, you hear the song, but what goes on in your mind and from your heart is just incredible, Cath. And you've got such a passion for Wales, haven't you? And I was saying to Di when he was on, I feel like I should wear a Welsh rugby shirt when I'm interviewing you, to be honest. I've got the daffodils though. But seriously, on a serious note, I know Sound of Wales is a big part of what you do and a big part of the mission. For those of people who don't know, can you explain to us what Sound of Wales is and what you do?
Yes, so Sound of Wales is a collective of around 42 musicians, creatives, storytellers, and it's all about using creativity to proclaim the gospel. So there's 3 ways in which we do that. One way is to the church. We lead worship at national conferences, at little churches. It doesn't matter about the number. It's just about using creativity to glorify our God within the church. We've done albums, we're on iTunes, we've done all sorts, and getting that song of Wales, that spiritual song, to the nation and to the nations. You know, we're a land known for revival, we're a land known for our song, and you know that is celebrated so widely. But if we can just get people to tap into, you know, a song that has been covered with intercession, a song that, you know, is sung from the depth of our hearts, Calon Lan, bread of heaven, not just a nostalgic little, you know, oh, we're just going to sing that in the stadium, but that, you know, this is my God who sustains me, and he's the best bread you'll ever get to feast on, you know. So that's one of the strands. Then the other strand is impacting communities. So we don't just want to reach the church, we want to reach society. So we've got community choirs, we've got groups that different members of the collective teach in deprived areas. So I'll give you an example of mine. I teach 6 single mums to sing on a wonderful little estate just near where I live. I take a kettle and pot noodles and I teach them to sing, and it's incredible how we just build relationship, and through the songs I get to talk about Jesus, and we do free community concerts, various different things, using music, using schools work, prisons work, through music and creativity. And then finally, the final strand is training. So really passionate about helping churches and worship teams, training people up, you know, within that, not just technically, but in terms of teaching on the heart of worship. So yeah, in a very short way, I guess that's what we do. Wow,
that's incredible. It's an honour to be involved in a small way at the moment with it as well. And today, the reason I've got the daffodils is because I recorded a song. My little part in the song is sort of like the UK Blessing, isn't it? But we're recording a song that's going to be released. Do you want to tell people a little bit about For Wales Our Land and the idea behind it, and what you hope happens from it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I did the Blessing, and obviously I was the only person on it from Wales, and I just felt like we've got to do a song that expresses our heart and praise over Wales, and across denominations. And so I just really prayed about what song. And there's an old hymn. The tune is called Finlandia, and originally it was written in Welsh. It's called Dros Gymru'n Gwlad, and it's For Wales our land, O Father, hear our prayer. This blessed vineyard granted to our care. May you protect her always faithfully and prosper here all truth and purity. For your son's sake, who bought her with your blood, oh, make our Wales in your own image, Lord. And the second verse is as powerful. And I just thought, how amazing would it be if we can get as many people as possible from across churches, north, south, east and west, involved in the Soul Collective, to sing this as a prayer over Wales. Get Di to do a little bit of spoken word at the end as a prayer for our Wales. So that's what I've been trying to do over the past weekend. And I've got 35 people, which I'm really impressed, from all over Wales. And so the video will probably be released in about 2 weeks. And it's just going to be a prayer that we can pray over this nation of revival, over this nation of song, that the ancient wells would spring up, and that this nation would turn back to its first love.
Oh, so exciting. You always make me really excited and fired up. Awesome, that's superb. I can't wait for that to be released. And guys, you know, I'm getting a few comments and a bit of banter going on here, Cath, about my hair, but I recorded it early, and you'll see in 2 weeks' time on that video, you can see my lack of hair in all its glory. That's all I'm going to say. But seriously, the heart behind it's great. And what you said about Sound of Wales and the breadth of the work that is covered by the ministry, obviously with lockdown, that's had to change a bit, hasn't it? And please tell us a little bit about how things have adapted, because you serve in churches in different ways, because live isn't possible right now, is it?
No, so really I had to think about that and ask. Essentially, I thought, I'm just going to ask what the churches need. And many little churches who are unable to function technically, they were just like, we haven't got a clue how to do our singing slot, our worship slot on a Sunday morning or in our small groups. Lots of people were contacting as well who were struggling with depression, anxiety disorders, various different things. And I thought, how about we create a YouTube channel where different people in the collective add their voice, be that a short worship session, be that a longer worship session, be that some of our classical musicians have just done some like classical music content, so you can just sit there and pick up your Bible and just listen and ask God to speak to you through the music. Some of our incredible children's workers have done some children's worship. Then some people have just done some like Lauren Daigle songs, just little songs like as items. Some people have written songs that are just coming out of the overflow of their heart in this time. Some people are just on there reading scripture. We've got Di doing spoken word, and it's a free resource for churches. We've actually got 5 prisons that are using the content every Sunday morning at the minute. Wow. 6 care homes, as well as last Sunday, or the Sunday before last, we were in 18 churches. Wow. In Wales, England, Asia, and America.
Wow.
Little churches mostly, you know, people who don't know how to do worship in this lockdown. So to be able to, you know, be a voice of hope, be a voice of truth in this time in that way has just been absolutely incredible. And the biggest thing for me, I think, is, you know, I've posted it up on my Facebook and whatever, and 3 of my school friends who I haven't seen since I was, 2 of them since I was 15, because they left in kind of year 11, and another one after 6th form, have just been asking me so many questions. One of them gave their life to Jesus, and it was just through the content of what people are offering through the worship on the YouTube channel. So it's just been incredible how God has used it, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the collective as well, that, you know, it's come from people of all ages, people from lots of different backgrounds. You've got some people singing traditional hymns and some people singing modern contemporary songs, and so check that out if you fancy it.
So how can people get to that, Cath, if they want to find all the stuff? And I was on there today, by the way, and all the videos are grouped really well. You can find exactly what you want. How do people get to that page?
If you go to YouTube and you type in Sound of Wales, lots of stuff will come up. Like, but if you click on the logo, the Sound of Wales logo, that'll take you straight to our actual page. And it would be great if you could subscribe. If you can subscribe, that would be really helpful. And then I think some people who aren't used to YouTube think that the only videos available are the ones you can see on the first page. But if you look at the top, there's like a tab and it says videos. You click on that videos tab and it opens up pretty much all our videos. And I think we've got about 40 odd on there now. And you can use any of them on a Sunday morning, in your small group context. You can, you know, in however you want to use them, just use them. That's what they're there for, you know, no charge at all. That's
an incredible resource, because a lot of churches, like you said, have had to move online overnight, and it's technically challenging as well. So that's a fantastic resource for the church. And And guys, on YouTube as well, if you click on playlist, there's video playlists. Click on playlist. All of that content is grouped into different playlists. You can find the kids' songs, the original songs, the hymns, the reflective music, all the words of encouragement, all the things that Cath was speaking about there is on there today. It's really well grouped as well. And hitting the subscribe button, I just need to point this out. You don't have to pay for anything. It's not a subscription that you pay for. It's free. It just means that you get any notifications of any new content that comes from the page, and you can find it easier as well. And it does help out Sound of Wales, and obviously myself and other people who have YouTube pages. Does help us out the more subscribers that we have. Cath, just want to bring in some comments because it was relating to what you said. These comments came in before you said what you said, funnily enough. And Peter Jones, who's pastor of Elevate Church near Abertillery, says there's a new song, a new sound, a new rhythm that is coming out of Wales and throughout the world. And you were just sharing how the songs and the content the Sound of Wales have created have gone to Asia and America and everywhere. So that's quite timely there, Pete. Pete always does that. He's a legend, and such exciting times ahead, he says. And then Linda Davis says, wow, so love your passion, such a blessing. And you are, Cath, you are absolutely. I'd like to share some more of your music now, and as well as being an awesome worship leader, head of Sound of Wales and that marvellous ministry, you're also a songwriter and one heck of a singer, as we've heard from the UK Blessing as well. So what song would you like us to play next, and could you tell us a little bit about it as well?
Yeah, I think we'll play Sailor next. This is a song I actually wrote about 3 weeks ago, and I wrote it during lockdown when I was having 3 really down days. I have an anxiety disorder, and I'm on medication for it. And, I see that as such a gift from God. Maybe I will get healed of it. I know he can heal me of it as well. But if not, the medication is so beautiful. And I was having a real down, anxious few days. And what I do when I'm disciplined within those moments is I picture myself crawling up into the lap of Jesus, and I just wait there until I feel his peace. And it always comes. It always comes. And I didn't audibly hear anything, but I just sensed it was like he was just singing a lullaby over me. And it was so beautiful. And I had the most beautiful sleep that I've had in, months and months, for like an hour. And I woke up and I just knew I've got to write a lullaby. What is a lullaby? It's a gentle, melodic tune that, parents use to lull their loved ones into a rest. And I thought, writing a lullaby, this is really bizarre. This is really weird. But I just knew. I knew God was compelling me to write this lullaby. And another word that I'd been thinking about and journaling and sketchnoting on was the word Selah, Selah, which is a word that appears 71 times in the Psalms. And people think it means to pause, to stop, to reflect, to recalibrate, to reset. And that's very much what we're doing in this time. So out of it, I just wrote this song. I just sat there. I just pictured myself in the lap of my papa and literally just sang. I just sang and worshipped and recorded for an hour, and then just took what I felt was right and made it into this song. And this is Selah. It's about pausing. It's about coming into his rest, because his rest is the most beautiful place to be, and his peace passes understanding.
Amen. Let's listen to Selah now. This is Selah by Cath Woolridge.
May we sail away to your Selah way. Here I pray your way, and I sing Yahweh. Say Worship you, my Savior. You are the deliverer. I wanna be where you are. You are never far away. I will remain for near. I'll stay.
Absolutely beautiful. That was Selah by Cath Woolridge. I'm awful sorry, Cath. I've got a problem with pronouncing things, which isn't good if you're going to be a broadcaster. So that's why I don't do that anymore. And Selah, I was worrying then when we came back in. Is it Selah? Is it Selah? How do you say it? I had a real moment there.
Differently. Just blame the accent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Selah.
Selah. Yeah.
But seriously, absolutely beautiful song, absolutely beautiful. And I gather you wanted to share something off the back of that.
Yeah, I don't know whether this is for anybody specifically, but I think maybe some of you, when I was saying, about climbing into his lap and I always find his peace, and maybe some of you thinking, well, I can't feel that peace and I don't know the way right now, like almost like you feel a bit lost. And this is just a verse that came to me. It's in a book of the Bible called Jeremiah, chapter 6. And it just says, stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient paths. Ask where the good way is and walk in it. And you will find rest for your soul. And I just felt like I just saw, it was actually a woman standing at these crossroads and almost just feeling so weary and frustrated and trying to figure it out. And I feel like the Lord is saying, you don't need to figure it out. You just need to ask for the ancient way and then walk in it. And that's what's going to bring rest for your soul. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to figure it out. And rest for your soul will literally just come as, so this is the thing. Don't let your waiting on God, W-A-I-T, become a weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. And I just think, if you're standing at that crossroads and you're trying to figure it out, you don't know the way and you feel lost and you can't feel peace, just stop, wait, ask, and walk, and rest will come.
Amazing. And if that is you this evening, if what Cath just said connected with you, as I've said so many times, my virtual door is open. Please private message me, and I'll certainly pass on to Cath if she's up for speaking to you as well, if that's appropriate. And please don't delay. If God is speaking to you through that is for now, and we don't know how long we've got with all this COVID stuff going on as well, so please don't delay. That's so important. The massive changes that come in my life is when I've put into action things like that and acted on it. That's when the real change comes. Cath, I just want to dip into some of the comments that was said during the song and after the song as well. So Vicky Smith says, beautiful. So Selah is the song we just listened to. Mark Small, this simply wonderful. I think this is simply wonderful. What a blessing, with the prayer emoji. And Shanice Fenwick, beautiful lullaby song. I can see myself singing this to Imogen as she drifts off. Oh, that's lovely. So Shanice is head of the life group I go to, and her and Josh have just had a lovely little baby. So that's wonderful. That's lush. And Beulah Cheeseman, beautiful Cath, love the song and the beauty of creation too. So relaxing. And Jen Howell says hi to you as well. Hi.
Hi,
Jen.
Jen.
And Linda Davis, lovely lullaby. I drifted off to a peaceful place. There we are. And then Sarah Thomas. Oh, I think you've met at Gateway a few times. So
Oh,
my
I love
cousin.
Sarah.
She'll be mega chuffed you said that. She's my first
I
cousin as
do.
well.
I saw her.
She says, wow, 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 that song really touched me. I too suffer with anxiety and struggle sleeping, so thanks for sharing what you did. Love it. Will definitely be playing if I can't sleep. Love it. Thank you. And there's a weird, it's a face with stars for eyes emoji with the double hand high five. This show is all about emojis. It's how people communicate these days, isn't it? Wade McLennan, who of course we both know, says great word. And Vicky Smith, anxiety is hard. This is such a comfort. Thank you, Cath. And Sarah goes, love you too, Cath. Big massive love heart. And actually, Sarah's dad, by the way, my Uncle David, he's done a disservice to his leg. So we're praying and thinking of you, Uncle David. Hope you get healed and rest up very well. Hope you're not in too much pain. So Cath, absolutely beautiful song. And we've got more music from you to share. And this is awesome. I love it. So what song would you like to share with us next?
So let's go for The Stand. I was feeling really frustrated last week, and there were moments where I felt angry. There were moments like I was just a bit like this, and it was just, I was so caught up in my emotions, and they were becoming my all. They were becoming my view. That was my perspective, and I was so caught up in it. And I just felt like I needed to read Romans 12. I'm just going to quickly find it here. It says this, okay? Therefore, I urge you, in view of God's mercy, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, I read that and, I was like thinking, well, what? I know what this means, but how does this speak into my frustration and whatever? Anyway, bear with, okay? I am getting to the point. That night, I spoke to my gran. Now, my gran is 94 years old, and she is obviously shielding, and she's in lockdown in West Wales. I try and call her at least like twice a week. And she was just telling me stories and, whatever. And she used to be a dancer. She loved to dance. And her favourite dance was the waltz. And she just was telling me stories about these waltzes that she was involved in. And she was saying, the thing is, Cath, the waltz is all about the pattern. And she was like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, when she was talking me through it. And then she said, and you know what? My teacher always used to say that posture was the key thing that made this pattern of the waltz worked. And the way you'd get a perfect posture was through practice. Now, that probably means nothing to you, right? But I was just like thinking about it and those 3 words. And I came off the phone and I got on my knees. And this is what I wrote in my journal. Practice makes a posture become a pattern. I'm going to say that again. Practice makes a posture become a pattern. So in terms of my gran, her practicing the waltz and her posture made the pattern of the waltz as beautiful as it could be. And if you go back to that Romans 12 verse, it says, don't be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I just thought, I need to change my posture right now, because my posture is in my spirit, I'm looking down, I'm not looking up. My posture is one where I'm sulking and I'm not rejoicing. My posture is out of place. How do I get my posture back in place? Not by might, not by power, but by your spirit, Lord. And that's through practicing your spirit at work in me. And then practice will make that posture of being aligned with you the pattern that I live by. And so I shared this and I was just like really sobbing. And then Dav's said, it reminds me of my poem, The Stand. And Dav's has got a book out that he's probably promoted on your last one, his poetry book, and it's called The Stand. And it says, I stand, I kneel, I sit, I lay. And it talks about different postures, but how we need to give every posture in every season to God. And then we put the song, and I was like, oh my gosh, it makes me, me think of The Stand in terms of the song that was written by, I think it's Chris Tomlin, not sure. And yesterday we just recorded this, and this is an offering to you, and that's the story behind it.
Incredible. So this is an exclusive for Social Distancing Live. Awesome, Cath. That's absolutely fantastic. So this is The Stand with Cath and Di Woolridge. Please enjoy. Pray that this blesses you.
You stood before creation, eternity in your hands. You spoke the earth into motion, a soul now.
Stand in your truth. I kneel because of your love that breaks the bondage of sin. I lay, pleaded to be immersed in your peace that transcends all understanding. I sit at the foot of the cross. I walk knowing you are right beside me. I run for you, with you and towards you, and I sprint. I do it again, but this time faster, faster and faster and faster and faster and faster.
You stood before my failure, carried the cross for my shame. My sin weighed upon your shoulders, my soul now to stand. So what can I say? What can I do? But offer this heart, oh God, completely you. I walk upon salvation.
I skip because sometimes no words express you.
Spirit's alive in me.
I jump trying to reach you, but no, I'll never get high enough.
Life to declare,
And I hop because you're the God of
so
fun.
now to
And I free
stay.
run badly, but do it because you are the God of
What
adventure.
can I
I stand, I kneel, I lay, I sit,
What can I
I walk, I run, I sprint, I skip,
offer this
I
heart,
jump,
oh
I hop,
God?
free run, a bed, I sleep, I rest, I eat, I speak,
What can I
I
say?
shout, I fight, I hide, I
What
keep,
can I do?
I hit, a wall, a fall, a break.
Offer this
You
heart,
mend
oh
me back.
God.
You make me fit.
Relate
You mend
you.
me back. You make me fit. I stand, I kneel, I lay, I sit, I walk, I run, I sprint, I skip, I jump, I hop, free run, I bet, I sleep, I rest, I eat, I speak, I shout, I fight, I hide, I keep, I hit, I wall, I fall, I break. You mend me back, you make me fit. You mend me back, you make me fit. I stand, I kneel, I lay, I sit, I walk, I run, I sprint, I skip, I jump, I hop, free run, a bit, I sleep, I rest, I eat, I speak, I shout, I fight, I hide, I keep, I hit a wall, I fall, I break. You mend me back, you make me fit. Mend me back, you make me fit. I stand, I kneel, I lay, I sit, I walk, I run, I sprint, I skip, I jump, I hop, free run, a bit, I sleep, I rest, I eat, I speak, I shout, I fight, I hide, I keep, I hit a wall, I fall, I break. You mend me back, you make me fit. You mend me back, you make me fit. I stand, I kneel, I lay, I sit,
Surrender.
Every part of me, every single bit I give to you. I give to you because you are the God who gives so much to me. So I give my Romans 12 worship to you, my living sacrifice worship to you. Every part of me, every posture, every position, every space, I give to you, the giver of grace. Because it's all for you. It's all for you.
It's all for you indeed. That was The Stand by Cath and Di Woolridge. Cath Woolridge is a very special guest during Social Distancing Live tonight. Cath, it's awesome having you on, and I can't believe the time. It seems like it's been like 10 minutes, and it's just been over an hour. Incredible. And we've still got more to come, guys, so please don't go to bed just yet. We've got some more music coming up and stories and as well. And if you've got any questions for Cath, please ping them in the comments and reaction section. Cath has very kindly said that she's going to stay on for a bit, so thank you, Cath, for that. Thank you indeed. And so when Di was on, he said that you hated his beatboxing, and I couldn't help but notice that he did some beatboxing in that song.
Do you know, it's hilarious. It's funny what 13 years of marriage can do. So we've been married 13 years this year, and I used to hate his beatboxing. I was so embarrassed of it. He used to do it in worship, and I was like, I stand next to him like, shut up, you're so distracting. And he used to be like, it's the way I express myself, Cath. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, just like but now I love it. I absolutely love it. And I was saying to Rob during that song, we were having a little chat, it's like when we just got married, I used to hate his dancing. Like, I mean, he is so dramatic. He used to get on the floor and do all these crazy, like, you know, like dad moves, as it were, you know, at 22 or whatever. And every wedding, you know, you have that like time in your life where you've got like about 28 weddings, like throughout the summer. Every wedding we'd argue on the way and the way back, because I'd be like, don't dance. And he'd be like, I am going to dance. And then on the way back, I can't believe you dance. And now I love his dancing. It's what love does. It's what love does, Rob.
Incredible. And I mean, I've worked with Anna on this show, and it's such we've only got a couple of days left before she has to go back to work, working from home though, which is going to change the dynamic slightly. But we've worked together on these programs. She's been furloughed, which is great, and God's provided, which is awesome as well. And it's so nice to serve together as a couple. And Di was saying when he was on as well, you've been creating together, and that song there, and with the spoken word as well. It's just case in point, isn't it?
It really is, and it has been such a blessing to do it with Davs. I mean, I've absolutely loved creating with him in this time. And I think it's set a new path, you know, and I think we're going to be doing a lot more creativity together. And it, you know, I think it's funny, isn't it? You have to practice patience more with your spouse than with anyone else, because you know you can get away with saying anything. And so most mornings I've been like, Lord, give me patience and self-control, please, Lord. Because Davs is a perfectionist, so he likes getting it perfect, which is brilliant quality. But I'm just kind of like, oh, come on. We've done it like 20 times now. But it's been the biggest blessing. And yeah, there's no one I'd rather create with. So I've just been so thankful.
Awesome. So there's going to be more little things like that coming out, more songs and spoken word features coming from yourself. What are you working on at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. We actually wrote a little song together. Dav's helped me on the lyrics, and so we're currently just worshipping with that one by ourselves at the minute, but really feel there might be a moment where we will like let that out, you know, out at the right moment, and it's just really exciting.
Awesome. And I mean, collaboration with songwriting can be well, you are tempted to get a bit fraught with the other person, but like you said, when I say the other half, I mean, that must be off the scale.
That's the thing. It is, and it can be. It really can be. But I think, again, it's that mindset, I think, because it was hilarious. We were trying to record on Saturday, and I was just a nightmare. And then on Sunday, I like woke up and I just had time with Jesus, and we had the most beautiful day. We just spent about 4 hours just recording and worshiping, and you know, I was just kind of being led by the Spirit rather than being overtaken by the flesh. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful collaboration. Can be a beautiful thing when you put yourself aside and listen to other people's incredible ideas and hearts.
Definitely, and I collaborate with Steve Quantick, who you know, fantastic guitar player from City Church in Cardiff, and I remember I had a Christmas song, "Saviour of the World," which some people tuning in tonight will have heard, and I'd written it 2 years ago, and I said, I just need a bit of guitar on this. I'm going to record it, and I was playing it, and he goes, I can hear a bridge. And I said, just go for it. But in my head, I was thinking, but the song's finished. And then he played the bridge, and it was a banging bridge. But to me, because I was so familiar with the song, it sounded as if it had been shoehorned into it. But I knew that I couldn't trust myself. So I didn't say anything, I let it roll. And then I've told Steve this, by the way. And then I just gave it out to a few people I trust and just didn't say anything. Said, what do you think of this? And they said, yeah, banging. And then I said, what about the bridge? And they all said, what about it? And then I knew it was me, which is great. And it's been a process that you learn, isn't it? And collaborating is, like you said earlier, actually, with the UK blessing, you know, where people are united, God commands the blessing. And you know, God certainly used that song. You know, there's one woman who started coming to church through it, which is incredible. That makes it all worth it. But Cath, just want to go back to some of the reaction to the stand. Sarah Thomas says, so powerful, with the double high five emoji. Sarah Hilton says, beautiful. And then on the collaboration and creating thing, Anna Westall, my wife, says, sorry, I can't sing.
Don't be daft, Anne. I literally can't do anything you can do, probably.
Amazing. Brilliant. That's typical of Anna's sense of humour. They're brilliant. So Cath, we're going to carry on listening to some more of your fantastic music, and you've got a song. I mean, this is my favourite, one of my favourites of what you've done, and I'm not going to say anything more than that. Tell us what the song is and tell us what's the thinking behind it and all that kind of thing.
Okay, so there's a little story behind this again. Probably about 9 years ago now, I was in the pit of depression, and it was a really hard year. It was a really hard season. I found it really difficult to get out of bed and to find any purpose. And it had probably been about 3 weeks that I'd just been in this pit, and Davs was just amazing in that time. And I remember this one particular day, he said, we're going out. And I said, I don't want to go out. I just didn't want to go out. And he said, we're going out. I said, I don't want to go out. And he literally carried me to the car in my pajamas. And I was sobbing. I was like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to. And we live in Pontypridd, and he just drove to the Brecon Beacons. And there's this one point in the Brecon Beacons, some of you may know it, and it's just vast, open, like, space. And he said, let's get out. And I said, I don't want to get out. He said, we're getting out of the car, Cath. And he literally carried me out of the car. I was in my pajamas. It was like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I just sobbed. I said, I can't face this. And he stood behind me and he stood me up. I'll never forget it. And he just said, Cath, look out, breathe him in. What is he saying? And I sobbed. I mean, it was like snotty mess. I was just like a complete mess. And I just felt like in my spirit, I heard these words, come into my wide open spaces. Because I think what depression had done is it had cluttered my mind. I felt closed. And it was this invitation into this spacious place. And when I got home, I just looked at that whole concept of wide open spaces, and there's 2 scriptures. I'm just going to read them to you. One is in Romans 5, and this is what it says. We throw open our doors to God and discover at the very same moment that he has already thrown open his door to us. and we find ourselves standing where we always hoped we might stand, out in the wide open spaces of God's grace and God's glory, standing tall and shouting out his praise. And Psalm 119, I will stride freely through wide open spaces where I receive your truth, your love, and your wisdom. And in that moment, that's what I received from my God. And my collected, depressed state became a wide open space of grace and glory. And I just sat down and I just wrote this song. And yeah, the rest is history, as they say. So this is Wide Open Spaces.
Thank you, Cath.
I look upon the face of him who took my shame. I'm sheltered from disgrace by Jesus. Through trials and through pain, our hope in Christ remains. By faith through grace we come to Jesus.
Standing in wide open spaces of your grace, lifting up your name and shouting out your praise.
Wide Open Spaces there, Sound of Wales and Cath Woolridge, our very special guest tonight here in Social Distancing Live. And Cath, I think there's been a theme running through tonight, just certainly in the last oh gosh, I don't know how long it's been, the time's flown by, but there's a theme. There's a lot of people on tonight who seem to be struggling with anxiety. You mentioned that you struggle with that as well. Just on the back of that song there, Sarah Thomas says, I can guess the song, it's Wide Open Spaces. There we are. Angela Johnson says, love that song, big love art. And Sarah Hilton says, been there often, it's really hard. I love this song so much. Feeling down at the Mo, I know there are better times ahead. Yes, Sarah, there are better times ahead. And Naomi Wilson has just tuned in. Hi, Naomi. Hope you're well. I tuned in just in time for this song, and Cath's message before it felt very timely for me. Thank you for sharing.
Praise
God
God.
bless you. Hi to Chris Holland, who's just tuned in, by the way. I don't see everyone who tunes in, so if you have tuned in, please make yourself known and where you're watching from, and I'll certainly say hello as well. And if you've got any questions for Cath, please get them in as quickly as possible because we're running out of time. Derith Powell has joined in on the emoji thing with love art music, love art music, love art music. And hi to Joanne Kerris Kirby as well. Angela Johnson says, wonderful anointed worship. And Sarah Thomas, let the rivers of creativity and worship keep flowing powerfully out of you, Cath and Di. You are such a blessing. Another favourite. There you go. And Jen Howells, wonderful song, Cath. Thank you. And just, Cath, picking up on, obviously, we were talking earlier about we don't know the impact of what some of the things that we do is quite public, isn't it? And we don't know the half of it sometimes of what we just basically download from God, share it, and then goodness knows what happens. We trust him to use it for his glory. But in terms of the theme tonight and the anxiety, I just wondered if you had a special word or encouragement or something on your heart for people who might be tuning in, might be connecting with what you've said, especially about your experiences as well. What encouragement would you give them? What would you say to them this evening?
Yeah, I think I would say this. This is a verse that's been in my heart recently. It's in 1 John. It's in John, not 1. John 1, sorry. And it says, out of his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace already given. And I want to say to you, his grace isn't occasional, it's constant. It's constant, and it's wave after wave. You get hit by one wave, you think you're getting yourself back up, it hits you again. It's grace upon grace. We barely begin to get our balance from one wave of grace, and then another breaker comes. And what I want to say to you is, his grace is sufficient for you. And I think sometimes, our past or the enemy or words or labels can hold us back, and we almost get trapped in yesterday's grace, if that makes sense. What this scripture is saying is that he gives grace in place of grace already given. There's new grace every day, new grace to get through tomorrow's anxiety, and then there's going to be a different grace available the day after to get through that particular anxiety. There's another verse in his word, and it says, my grace is sufficient for you.
Well, we seem to be having some technical problems there, so we will try and reconnect with Cath as soon as possible there. So what Cath was saying there is his grace is sufficient for all. He is the answer. If you're looking for an answer, Jesus is the answer. If you're looking for a rock on which you can stand in these uncertain times, Jesus is the answer. I've got Cath back now. Cath, sorry, awful sorry, it dropped out just as you were saying his grace is sufficient for all.
Yeah, no, I was just saying his grace is sufficient. It doesn't say his grace was sufficient or his grace will be. It is sufficient in the present moment. His presence is most present in the present moment, and just press in, wait on him. Those who wait upon the Lord will rise on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. And, just if you want prayer, on Thursday morning, I've got an hour or two where I'm going to just go and pray. Drop me a message, PM me on Facebook. Just drop me if you just want your name or whatever. And I promise to pray for you. But know that it's grace in place of grace. And I feel like a picture of this is like you've got tinned fruit, which is fine. Tinned peaches, lovely, in syrup. Or imagine like a new, juicy, ripe peach. If you've got both, one in the fridge, one in the cupboard, which one do you go for? I definitely go for the ripe, juicy peach because it's ripe, it's fresh, it's juicy, it's ready, and I just feel like the Lord is like, come and get my new grace. Don't feel like you have to live on old fruit. I've got new fruit for you, even in and amidst this anxiety.
Thank you so much, Cath. And Jen Howell says, can you please remind me which verse from John 1 that was?
It's John chapter 1, verse 16.
John chapter 1, verse 16, Jen. I hope that helps there. So, guys, Cath, thank you so much for coming on Social Distancing Live. It's been a blast. I'm just conscious of your time because there's lots of videos to edit, isn't there, for Sound of Wales? And thank you so much. I really appreciate you and Di, and God bless you. And we want to honour you. Is there a way people can support you, connect with you on social media, follow you, buy your albums and things like that? How can people get hold of your stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon, some of them, I think, as well. And YouTube, the YouTube channel, and subscribing to that would be amazing. Also, anything else at the minute? No, I think wait for the for Wales and Land, and let's see that, just get all across Wales into hospitals and prisons and schools when they reopen. And so keep your eye out for that.
Amen. And when is that coming out again? Did you say in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, I haven't got an exact date yet, but I will be putting one out there as soon as I hear from the videographer and the audio guy.
Awesome. Well, we would love to play that on the programme when it comes out, and hope to share it with everybody as well. Thank you, Cath. God bless you. Have you got anything else you'd like to say to anybody who might be watching tonight who perhaps doesn't know Jesus and doesn't have the faith that we have? What would you say to them?
Yeah, it says in Hebrews that you can boldly come before the throne of grace to receive mercy whenever you need. And I would say to you, if there's anything holding you back, like if there's sin or shame, or if you feel like something you've done you're too far gone, or you're too broken, or you've gone away and come back too many times, it says nothing can separate you from the love of God. And his love is the most perfect love. And so I just want to say to you, just come home. Come home. Come home. Don't linger anymore. His arms, I just think of the story of the prodigal son right now. He is waiting for you. He doesn't want to impose himself on you because he's not that kind of father. He's waiting on you with arms wide open, with a ring and a robe. You know what they mean? A robe is that you are royalty. A ring means that you belong to the family. He's waiting for you. Don't hold back any longer. Whether you feel like you've gone away from the faith and you want to come back, whether you've never known Jesus before and you just want to run into his arms. It says in his word that even when he was a far way off, the Father ran to his son. And that's what the Father wants to do right now. He wants to run to you with your true identity, with his bold, audacious love. Come home, come home, come home. Don't stay away any longer, any longer.
Cath, God bless you for that. And I would echo that. If any of that applies to you, the time is now. We don't know how much time we've got left, especially in the current climate. And I don't want to lay it on thick, but that's just the way it is right now. So please don't leave this virtual room without saying hello to me or connecting with me. And I don't know all the answers. I don't profess to know all the answers, but I can certainly put you in touch with people who do. Now is your time. It's no accident that you've logged on tonight, and you've logged on to hear that. If you don't know Jesus this evening, you can know him this evening. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in to Social Distance in Life. Thank you, Cath, once again. You are an awesome, awesome woman of God, and it's a real honour to call you and Di my friends, and God bless you both greatly. And can't wait to hear that song coming out as well, and all that you've got going on. And there's a lot of thanks as well on the messaging board as well. So Jen Howells, thank you, Cath and Rob. And Glenn Ingle, thanks, Cath, you're a real blessing. Wade McLennan, amen. Jen Howells, thanks, Rob, for asking that. I would love to buy songs from Cath. I know you said iTunes, but can they buy a CD? Could you get more money for that?
Oh, you cutie. Yeah, I mean, I've got some here. If you want to send me your address, I can just send them on to you. And when I send them on, I can just send you my details or whatever. So if you want to buy, I've got some downstairs in the kitchen if you want to buy them from me.
Great, and it does cost money for all this creativity, guys. But Cath would be too humble to say that. It does cost a heck of a lot of money, and any money that is given in return will be sown back into creating more fantastic content to bless the church and bless the world. Linda Davis says, thank you so much. Mark Small, thank you, Cath. Very encouraging listening to you as usual. God bless you both abundantly. And Beulah Cheeseman, thank you, Rob, Anna and Cath. Such a blessing. And Jen Howells, thanks both. God bless you all. Big massive love up from Cath Tovey. God bless you, Cath. Thanks for tuning in. Bethan Art Watkins, thank you. And Jen Howells, thank you, Cath, as well. I'm sorry to troll through all that. I just feel it's right to honour you for coming on and giving of your time, and it's good to pass that on to you. Thank you, Cath. God bless you. And we're now going to finish off tonight's programme with a song that features our very special guest, the awesome Cath Woolridge, and it is the UK Blessing. And God bless you. Please tune in tomorrow night, 8:30. Tomorrow we have Bean Baker on the programme, and hope to see you then. Usual place, usual time. God bless you. Please, 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 if that word applied to you, get in touch. Do not delay. Your time is now. God bless you. All the best.
The Lord bless you and keep you.
Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lord, turn his face toward you
And give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you
and be gracious to you.
The Lord turn his face toward you
And give you peace.
The Lord bless you
And keep you.
Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you
And give you peace.
Amen. Amen.
pray a blessing, manna rain down from heaven. This isn't second guessing, we know that we are protected. May the peace that surpasses all understanding be our message. Grace and favors in your nature, in your
May His
essence.
favor be upon you and 1,000 generations,
And your family, and your children,
and their children, and their children. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His presence go before you and behind you and beside you, all around you and within you. He is with you, He is with you in the morning, in the evening, in your coming and your going, in your weeping and rejoicing. He is for you, He is for you, He is for you, He is for you.
He is for us. Amen, amen, amen.
May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His presence go before you and behind you and beside you, all around you and within you. He is with you, He is with you in the morning, in the evening, in your coming and your going, in your weeping and rejoicing. He is for you, He is for you.